Hello and welcome back, everybody, to the Remembrancers Library podcast. I'm Vincent.
I'm Ethan.
And today we are, of course, as of the last many days that I've said this exact same thing, we are continuing to talk about our Primarchs.
Yes, but today is the first of three last episodes.
Yes.
Yes, because it's Angron, Corvus, and then Alfarius.
Yes.
And then we're done with the Primarchs.
Yes.
Except for the
redacted. Well,
that might end up being a supplementary episode. There's not a lot of information to make a full podcast episode out of those guys, but
fair enough.
So we are on the countdown to being done with the Primarchs.
Yes, and then we can get on to
the Heresy. I am so excited. And then we have the Age of Apostasy and Modern Age, and then we have to talk about everything after that.
Yes.
But I'm thinking, sneak peek for you guys, I'm thinking that we might actually stop with Tales from the Imperium after the Heresy. I think we might start
a break and go
start looking at Xenos races and different stories and stuff like that.
Yep.
Look at individual characters past that and stuff like that. Because that's how the future might look for us in this podcast.
Yes.
But anyway, as always, thank you guys again for being here. If you're on YouTube, pop over to the Spotify, give us a download, let us know how we're doing over there.
Yep.
If you're on Spotify, pop over to the YouTube and have a look at how everything's going on that side.
Yep.
And if you're on Instagram, if you listen to this on Instagram, how? But also, thank you for coming over to one of the platforms and listening to us.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, with all that out of the way, let's get right into it.
Absolutely.
Who are we talking about this week, Vincent?
Today we're talking about Angron.
Angry Ron.
Angry Ron.
Do you know what his main character trait is?
That he's super compassionate and loves butterflies.
Exactly.
Yes.
And then the butcher's nails got put in. No, Angron is... Everyone knows Angron that knows about Warhammer. He's the Chaos Primarch that everyone talks about. Yep. It's Angron, the bloodthirster.
The original angry boy.
The original angry boy, yes.
Yep.
Now, he is the Primarch of the 12th Legion.
Yep.
He was the 17th to be found.
Yep.
He is the Primarch of the World Eaters.
Yes.
Not always known as the World Eaters, but we'll get to that. Now, this might end up being a shorter episode, and there is for a reason of that, is we usually talk about the planet. There is not enough on the planet to talk about because it has been expunged from Imperial records. The only thing that is known about the planet is what's given to us by Angron, which is not a lot. He doesn't like talking about his early life, as we will soon get to know.
Does he like talking about much other than just being angry all the time?
Dude barely speaks to anybody. It took Khan, his top captain, having the snot kicked out of him, and Angron being like, I like your chutzpah. And then having a conversation that way. The only person that he really talked to was his brothers and his captains, and that was it.
Yeah.
And one other character that I don't know the name of right now.
That's fair.
Yeah. Angron was brought up on a planet called Nuceria. And as I said, there's not much to talk about when it comes to Nuceria.
Right.
But what we can talk about is that it was a fairly deserty planet, desert-esque planet.
Makes sense.
As seen by his Angron's name while he was there, which was the Lord of the Red Sands. So it was a rather red, dusty planet. Think Mars-esque kind of thing. Kind of like with Sanguinius, how like Baal was kind of like Mars with its two moons and its red, dusty thing.
Yeah.
But
so this is more just it's all desert sort of thing.
All desert kind of thing, but like think like Las Vegas, where it's like like a bustling city hub. Surrounded by desert.
Or like Tatooine sort of thing.
Or Tatooine
it's desert, but it's full of kind of like seedy bars and stuff.
Actually, no.
No,
it's more like gladiatorial arenas and big bustling cities and stuff like that. Think Rome.
Yeah.
Think a more technologically forward Rome.
If Rome was more advanced, but still less advanced like Texas is.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that, yes.
No offense, Texas.
If you're listening in Texas, if there will still be a Texas at some point in the future, who knows? But anyway, with that though, the other main notable thing about Nuceria is the population was split quite firmly between the privileged and the enslaved.
Okay.
It was the poor and the not poor, is essentially what it was. And the main thing that was the main form of entertainment was gladiatorial combat.
Okay.
Everyone loved a good fight.
Fair enough.
And because of this, they would just have gladiator matches.
Okay.
And those gladiator matches were enough entertainment to stop the enslaved masses from getting up and revolting against the the higher nobility.
Because the slave masses did enjoy watching the fighting?
They did enjoy watching the fighting because it was a way for them to get their anger out.
Right.
Like they would look and they'd scream and they'd rage in the stands for their favorite fighter and everything.
Right. Okay. So it's group therapy.
Group therapy.
All right.
Yes.
Angry group therapy.
Angry group therapy. Yes. And that's it.
That's it.
That's all we really know about Nuceria.
Okay.
One thing is that like the nobles kind of lived in like a nice isolation kind of thing. Like they would live away from these like overpopulated cities and stuff like that, just to further prove that they were higher up than these people.
Yeah, they'd live in the nicer spots and whatnot.
And like they and it's just how it was.
Yeah. Did they have like a specific did they have an export like other planets did, or it just kind of they just kind of were there and
probably
existed?
At some point, or it might have just been one of those hub worlds that they wanted to make into a hive city.
Okay.
But we can't really tell now because it's gone.
It's
or
gone.
It might not be gone. We don't know.
We don't know.
Enter Angron.
Okay.
We don't know when he fell. We don't know how his pod got to the world or anything like that.
Right.
He was shot out by Tzeentch in the warp and everything like that. And then little baby Angron was just discovered one day.
Okay.
He was just there, little baby Angron, just kind of like, kind of thing. And he was discovered absolutely surrounded by dead corpses of aliens.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what is believed is that these aliens were the Eldar.
Oh, okay.
And the reason the Eldar were trying to come and get baby Angron is for two reasons. As we mentioned last episode, we are starting to get to the end of the heresy.
Yes.
Not the end of the heresy. It's starting to get to the end of the Great Crusade and stuff like that. The thing is that this might have been the Eldar trying to take pieces off the board closer towards the beginning of the heresy.
Because I'd assume by this point, with as many Primarchs been found, everyone else is sort of starting to figure out that there's probably going to be more of these guys.
Exactly.
And they're going to be a big threat if they get into full potential.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's the thing is like when the discovery of because the Primarchs didn't all exist at the same time.
Right.
That's the thing. Is the Eldar probably caught wind of, the Emperor's starting to get his Primarchs back together.
Right.
If we can find one that is young enough and easy enough to kill, then we can take a piece off the board.
Right.
This is where Angron comes in. The Eldar probably underestimated the strength of a Primarch child.
Probably.
So that's when Angron was found. He was found surrounded by alien corpses that were so beaten up and battered and destroyed that they couldn't tell what kind of aliens they were.
Oh, okay.
Also, they didn't have they had no contact with the Eldar at that point.
Right, so they'd have no way to really tell because these are just the people on this planet finding him.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay, makes sense.
Now, they found him and they did what you would do with any baby that you find in the wild, and you take them and you sell them into slavery.
Right.
Yes.
Naturally.
Naturally, as you would do with a child that you find. And he is sold off into slavery and he becomes a gladiator.
Okay. Makes sense. If he was found surrounded by dead bodies, he's going to be good in the ring.
He's going to be a good fighter, exactly. So he gets thrown into this pit.
Yeah.
And that pit is filled with acid.
Oh.
And 100 other aspiring gladiators.
Right.
100 other aspiring gladiators. So Angron crawls out the pit.
Without killing anybody? Wow.
He killed them all.
Yeah.
With his bare hands.
That sounds about right.
Angron style.
Angron style.
No
No beating around the bush, just beating
around the face, yeah.
Just beating up the bush.
Beating up the bush, exactly. How dare you have seeds and fruits, you fool.
Poked me with a stick. God,
dare
rude.
You. And then, in doing this, he proves that he's a good fighter.
Yeah. He
gets sold again.
Okay.
For a second time. He gets sold into the biggest, most popular arena on the planet.
Right.
In the planet's capital.
Okay.
And immediately he is given a name, which for most slaves in his position would be a great honor.
Yeah.
He is given the name Angron Thalkir, I think is how it's pronounced, meaning child of the mountain, because they found him on a mountain.
Okay. So there was at least one mountain on this planet.
There was at least one mountain on this planet.
Okay.
We're narrowing it down. How many planets have mountains? All of them. Brig. He would be given this name, and he would begin to grow and mature, and he gained skills. he became an extremely skillful fighter. That's one of the things. And he became known as we said before, the Lord of the Red Sands.
Okay.
Now,
still a slave.
But still a slave, yes.
Okay.
So he was slaying and fighting hundreds of gladiators single-handedly.
Okay.
He had a mentor, he did, but he was doing all of these fights on his own.
Okay.
Every single fight that he did by himself.
Right.
But here's the thing, is he had a great sense of honor. So anybody that he thought fought admirably, he would spare.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would spare them and he'd let them live because they fought well.
Right.
And most probably because they would be an even better fight
when
down
they
the
got
line.
stronger.
Exactly.
Hisoka style.
Exactly. Whatever that is.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway,
Moving on.
Anyway, with admiration and like popularity and stuff like that, he was able to live a pretty good life for a slave.
Okay.
He got food every day.
Yeah.
He was well fed. His cage or his quarters were probably very well maintained.
Yeah.
Probably nicely.
He's probably had the nicest cage of the whole.
Nicest cage, if not like a small apartment in the thing.
Yeah.
And he would just live.
Yeah.
And he was living his good life. He was living his best life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But more than anything else in the world, he resented himself for being a slave. He resented himself for having to kill everybody. He resented the people that owned him for putting him in that position.
Okay.
And he wanted more than anything to just be free.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is something that would lead to Angron's eventual mutilation at the hands of those higher powers and stuff like that. So,
higher powers as in like the leaders of the place or like his owners?
No, the leaders of the place.
Okay.
Because there were these people called the High Riders.
Okay.
And they were the ones that owned Angron, but they also owned the arena and stuff like that.
Okay.
So the High Riders had a good thought and they were like, you know what we should do? Yeah. We should have these two people fight. Okay. These two people were Angron and Angron's mentor, Oenimus. They were in a together match, like a 2-for match. And they fought in a battle against a pair of Angron. Do you know what Angron are?
No.
They are genetically enhanced human beings.
Okay.
Ogres.
That makes sort of sense.
A little bit shorter than an Astartes, taller than your average humans. So they're a nice midpoint. They aren't very smart.
Right.
They are more often than not programmed, quote unquote.
Okay.
To protect people. They're used as bodyguards a lot of the time.
Okay.
Or they're used as basically really heavy, fleshy soldiers that can take a good couple of hits before going down. Yeah. There's actually a really good story about how one of them was told to protect his commander. Yeah. At all costs. Yeah. And then when the Ogren got to the extraction point, he had half of the commander left.
Oh, but he was still protecting him.
He was still protecting him. He just didn't realize that he had died.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you're dealing with an Ogren.
Right.
Now, imagine this.
Yeah.
With a little thing called a butcher's nail.
Right.
Do you know what a butcher's nail is?
We have briefly gone over that, yeah.
I will talk about it anyway for the people at home.
Yes.
A butcher's nail is an extremely, extremely barbaric device.
Yes. Well, from what I remember you saying, it's basically a thing that gets implanted in your brain that shuts off everything except for what makes you angry.
I found out that it's something completely different than that.
Oh, goody.
So it doesn't shut off the parts of your brain that make you completely angry.
Right.
It makes you feel physical pain and anguish whenever you feel any other emotion except rage or sadness and stuff like that.
I see. That is so much worse.
It is so much worse, yes.
So you can feel everything else, but at what cost?
But at what cost, yes. Now, the other side of that is you will feel that pain until you get angry. And then when you get angry, you feel the bliss. But you're still angry, so you're still feeling that negative emotion. Right. And it becomes a circle of just pain and rage and pain and rage and pain and rage until you go berserk. Yeah. Now, the two Ogren that they were going up against were berserk. They had gone completely feral, rabid.
They had both had the butcher's nails?
They had both had the butcher's nails implanted into their heads. After this, as I said, the High Riders were like, you know what?
Yeah.
Let's have these two fight. These guys have beat everything that we've thrown at them.
Yeah.
They are our two best fighters. This will be a fight for the ages. Let's have these two fight and see where it goes. Angron
And his mentor,
Oenimus, Angron outright refused. And he was insulting the people, like the High Riders and stuff like that. He's basically like, you're mad if you think that we will fight each other. We are brothers. Okay. We are brothers in slavery and all that sort of stuff. They punished him by having him implanted with butcher's nails.
Oh.
And they had him implanted with a lot.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So I'll just give you a quick side thing here before we go back to the story. Angron gets implanted with these butcher's nails.
Right.
And later on, after he's discovered by the Imperium and everything like that, I know I'm going a bit ahead here with before explaining the Emperor and stuff like that. A little bit later on, when they realize they have these butcher's nails in his head, and they're like, "Oh, we need to get these out of you. They're quite clearly messing with your brain chemistry,
Yeah,
and like they're quite clearly making you as crazy as you are." And Angron was like, "I'm not great at," and he's like, "You fucking go and fit." He had to be, excuse me, wow. He had to be psychically subdued.
Oh.
And that means that they had to go into his mind and turn it off for them to be like, okay, so we can get a look at him.
Yikes.
They did scans, they did mental probes, they did brain probes, they did everything that they could to see what was going on in his head.
Yeah.
The butcher's nails had been put into Angron's head so crudely and so like barbarically that they had straight up began to replace parts of his brain.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like it just was actually taking over.
It was literally just taking over his brain.
Okay.
His brain and his mental state and his mind had been so altered by the butcher's nails that even if they took out one, it would mean certain death for Angron.
Okay, so they literally could not.
They literally could not. They had no way of removing the butcher's nails from his mind.
Ooh.
Because if they did, Angron would die. Right. And the Emperor would rather have a son who's a barbaric warlord over having no son at all.
Right.
Which, call him a sentimentalist, call him a selfish douche, whatever you want to do. Either way, it was the wrong decision to let Angron live.
Yeah.
Either way, like from the moral standpoint, but also from the heresy standpoint, given what he does later on.
Because also, like, if he's in that much pain all the time, that's not ethical to keep him alive for his own sake.
Well, it's no life for anyone to live, and especially given what he does to his legion after the fact too, because it is insane. But I just wanted to mention that ahead of this because it is very much a thing of like, oh,
it is that bad.
It is that bad, yeah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense from that point of view as well. Of like, well, we can't let him die because we need the Primarch. The Legion needs a Primarch, and if the Legion didn't have a Primarch, what are we supposed to do? But we also can't replenish the Primarch without new gene stock, and we get the gene stock from the Primarch.
Exactly.
Back to pre-Emperor. So they punish him with implanting these butcher's nails, and they also grafted them directly to his cerebral cortex.
Right.
Yeah. So that's, the bit of the brain.
The main functioning
part of your brain. The one that's like live or die.
Yeah.
So that happens, and he gets into a fight, and he goes and he has the fight with Oenimus.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Now, does this other dude also have butcher's nails, or
no,
just Angron?
Just Angron.
All right.
Because the butcher's nails were a punishment.
Right.
They were not a reward.
Right.
Because it's like, you're a bad fighter? Fine. Yeah. Then you are going to be given butcher's nails. You won't listen
to us. You won't listen to what we want you to do. We're going to make you do what we want you to do.
Exactly.
I see.
Yeah. So the fight goes on, and sadly for Angron ends up brutalizing his friend and killing him in the process because of his rage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that does seem to be how that was going to go.
And this was the first step on Angron's path to rebellion.
Makes sense.
So, like, for a couple of years after this, he would continue the trend of brutalizing and killing and just destroying people in the pits.
Because he, at this point, wouldn't be able to have the choice of giving them honor. He would
just kill them.
He would just kill everybody.
He would just kill everybody,
No choice.
But he still was lucid enough to recognize that he needs to free his people.
Yeah.
So in doing so, what ends up happening is that he goes out of his way. The High Riders give him permission to stage a fight between the guards of the Colosseum or whatever you want to call it, and the slaves. Now, the only main difference between the two is the slaves have next to no weapons, and the guards all have guns.
Right.
And they have that during the fight.
That's totally fair.
There are thousands of slaves, as opposed to probably 1,000 or so guards.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to be an easy fight because they had firearms.
Right.
2,000 slaves escaped from that arena that day.
Holy.
And they went off into the city, into wherever, and they just started living their life. Started living their best life, which is a complete lie. They were
hunted down and probably...
Hunted down, and killed, No, they weren't killed. They were hunted down, but they kept getting away.
Right.
The only issue is that they were succumbing to their injuries and starvation. They weren't around anywhere long enough to get a good amount of food to, be able to patch up their wounds and stuff like that. They were constantly being hunted for years.
Yeah.
But time and time again, the guards and everything would lose.
Right.
They would just simply lose. They just simply could not put up against
the amount of slaves.
The amount of slaves that were going up against them. And this gave Angron a real boost of energy.
Yeah.
He named his group the Eater of Cities because they would just go through cities and they would just win. They would win of any fight that came their way in the city and stuff like that.
And are they continuing to free slaves from more places probably?
No, it's just that group.
Okay.
Sadly, it's just that group. After a while, they got down to 1,000 men and women.
Yeah.
And they would end up being cornered on a mountain named Fadan Mahor.
Okay.
And they were fighting and they were getting slowly closed in on and people were dying.
Right.
And then the Emperor arrived.
Oh, perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing.
And he comes down and he goes, "You don't need these people. They are below you."
To Angron.
To Angron, yeah. You have a whole legion of sons here made with your genetic code and you can command all of them. And Angron goes, "Nah. No. I'm not doing that. I'm staying and I'm standing with my people." And the Emperor goes, "All right, man. I hear you. You want to stay with your people? You can stay with your people." And he teleports away.
That is out of character.
And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And then the Emperor comes back a little bit later on and he retrieves Angron.
And Angron goes with him the second time with no fight, or
No, I'm lying to you.
Oh.
No. Yeah. No. What happens is 10 times as bad. The fight's going on.
Yeah.
The Emperor teleports Angron out of the fight.
Oh.
And he leaves all of the slaves there.
To die. Ooh.
What's worse is he has Angron on the observation platform of the ship.
So he's watching them die.
He can watch them die. And the Emperor essentially goes, the Emperor essentially is like, what did you think I was just going to leave you behind?
Yeah.
And then Angron is just in despair.
Angry?
No, despair. No. He's not even angry at this point.
He's in
that
despair.
Comes next.
Ah.
So he's on his knees and he's like, "Send me back. Send me back down there. He's like, I'll take my legion. We'll protect them. We'll bring them up here. Why couldn't you teleport them up here with me?"
Yeah.
And this is all he's watching this happen. He's just begging his father to go back down.
Yeah.
And he's just watching. And in that moment, he knows for a fact that all those slaves think that Angron has abandoned him. And they are dying thinking that Angron has abandoned him because he was the one that helped them escape. He's the one that got them out of that position. And he was like, "Follow me and we will live."
Yeah.
That was what Angron was doing.
Right.
And then
he's just disappeared.
Literally just disappears.
Yeah.
When teleportation in the Warhammer world is you can smell electricity.
Yeah.
There's this flash of light and you're gone.
Yeah.
And that's it. There's no fanfare. There's no nothing, no noise and anything like that. There's this sound of sucking air.
Yeah.
And that's about it. But in the heat,
you disappear into nothingness.
Exactly. But in the heat of battle, you wouldn't hear any of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they would just think that he's just disappeared, that he's abandoned them, that he's found some way to just escape the fight and then just leave them behind to face their fate.
Exactly. Yikes.
Yeah. So the Emperor's like, "What? I rescued you. You could have died down there with those lower beings."
Yeah.
But Angron's like, "Father, why?" And
yeah,
that's the thing, is he never saw the Emperor as his father after this.
Right.
He never saw the Emperor as his father after this. He looked and after it's dead, and after it's all done, and everyone's dead and everything like that, the Emperor is essentially goes, "You'll get this one day. You'll understand what I've done for you here."
Right.
Like, you don't understand. They were nothing.
Yeah.
And this is the thing, is you remember the fact that every other Primarch has had their main group?
Yeah.
And they got turned into Astartes after the fact.
And they got to keep their group, and he doesn't.
Most likely what would have happened is if Angron could have gone, "I will come with you, but they need to come with me too."
Yeah.
If he hadn't have been like, "Oh no, I'm staying and I'm fighting,"
yeah.
they probably would have lived.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing is like, the Angron was basically just like, Angron was like, "How could you you could have teleported them up here."
Yeah.
And the Emperor's like, "Nah."
But because Angron had said, "No, I'm not coming with you at all," that was the kicker.
Exactly. And then the Emperor, like, extremely nonchalantly is just like, "You'll get it. Anyway, like, we have like dinner in like 5 minutes. So like, you might want to get cleaned up from this disgusting mess that you are on the floor. So like, can you stop crying over the fact that everybody you know and loved has just died and get on with it," kind of thing. That's the Emperor's attitude to Angron in that moment.
Yeah, he's definitely not caring about these sons that he's finding by this point.
It's because like Angron, and the only reason why is because Angron rejected him.
Yeah. So now he's being petty about it.
He's being petty. That's all the Emperor is just a big petty girl's blouse, so to speak.
Yeah, because this is the first time that he's ever been rejected, right?
Well, some of the other Primarchs have rejected him, but they've rejected him and been like, "Prove to me that you're my dad."
Yeah, within reasonable
bounds, and then,
but not to the degree of just, "No, leave me alone."
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't care who you are, go away.
Yeah, exactly. That's none of them have been like that. They've all been like, well, I think one of them's like, "I don't care who you are," like, whatever. And then the Emperor's just been like, "Aha, it's me, the Emperor."
And then they're like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I guess so."
That kind of thing.
Yeah.
Angron was furious.
I could imagine.
He was enraged. He hated his father and all that stuff. He saw the Emperor as a tyrant.
Yeah.
He saw the Emperor as a tyrant. Like, if I don't get my way.
For what he was.
Yeah. He saw the Emperor, like most of the Chaos Primarchs did, as you know, what he was. Just a huge douche. Like, I don't know what to tell you. After this, Angron would end up meeting his legion for the first time.
Yeah.
And Angron, being the very level-headed,
very reasonable,
rational person that he is, would, in his rageful fits, would kill brutally any Astartes that stepped in his way because he thought that they were less than he was.
Right.
Yes.
So not in the way of eliminating weak links in the chain.
Oh, we're going to get to that point.
Okay.
Yes. So this kind of got to somebody by the name of Khan.
Okay.
Also known as Khan the Betrayer later on in the Heresy. But Khan, he was the captain of the 8th Company.
Okay.
And he was like, I'm done with this. This is ridiculous. The fact that our high-ranking officials keep disappearing.
Yeah.
And Astartes just keep appearing dead left and right over here. Yeah. I'm going to take this into my own hands.
Okay.
So Khan goes into Angron's quarters. And he's like, "Hey, dick." And then Angron proceeds to beat him within an inch of his life.
Yeah, but Khan, I don't know what he was expecting.
But that's the thing. Khan keeps getting up and he's like, "Hey, man, I didn't hear a bell. Like, if you think I'm going to lay down and if you think I'm going to take this, you're wrong.
Yeah,
I'm going to take my death standing up like an Astartes, like one of the Emperor's angels kind of thing.
Like a man.
Like a man." And Angron, in a rare moment of lucidity and reasonability, talks to Khan about his expectations for his legion. Yeah. And then Khan talks to Angron for their expectations of him as a Primarch.
Oh.
And then after that moment, Angron takes control of his legion. In that moment, he's like, "You're right. You guys are my sons.
Yeah.
I am your Primarch. I am your father.
Yeah.
You are now worthy of my time. I'm not going to keep pissing around on board this ship.
Yeah.
And I'm actually going to just, lead you guys."
Yeah.
And the first thing that he does after doing this is he leads he leads them and renames them to the World Eaters
Okay.
in homage to the City Eaters that he had fought with in the past.
Yeah, because now that they're leveling up, they're not just eating cities;
They're eating
entire
worlds.
worlds.
Yes.
All right.
Now, they used to be called the Warhounds,
Okay.
but Angron saw this as unbecoming for his legion
right.
and unbecoming of him, because, to quote Angron kind of loosely, I am no one's hound. I am no one's lapdog.
Right.
Yes.
He kind of is, but also
Yeah.
like, yeah.
He's just cool, dude. Angron's
Yeah.
just cool. And he's tragic. Really tragic.
Yeah.
A lot-
He didn't do anything wrong.
No, that's the thing. And that's the other thing as well, is that a lot of people like clown on Angron. Like, oh, his name's Angron, he's angry all the time. Oh, he's just a berserker. It's like, no.
He was made to be that way.
Angron's moment of lucidity did end there, though. Because after this, he decides that he's going to push his legion
Right.
to what he wants them to be, not what they need to be. And he pushes them, and he pushes them, and he pushes them. And at one point, he's like, nah, I'm done with them. I'm done with my legion. I can't stand this anymore. And he disappears for 2 years.
2 whole years.
2 whole years.
Nobody knows where he went.
They find him eventually.
Okay.
And they find him on a feral world. Now, do you remember the classification of planets?
Vaguely.
Death world, feral world, feudal world, and then inhabited world. I can't remember what the last one is, but it goes like that. A death world is basically anything on this world wants to kill you. A feral world is essentially like,
it's wild, but you can live there.
wild, but you can live there kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly like that. Like Caliban was considered a feral and a death, a feral, and a feudal world in different sections of the planet.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So they found him on a feral world, and he was just living like an animal.
Right.
Literally like an animal. And he was like just like, killing beasts and eating their flesh raw.
Yeah.
Like drinking from ponds and all that sort of stuff.
He was having his best beastman life.
Dude, he was like a rage-filled Tarzan.
Yeah.
That's basically the only way you can explain it.
Yeah. Tarzan if he was a warthog or a rhino instead of a gorilla.
A gorilla, yeah. Or like just a really angry set of gorillas.
Yes.
So if he was raised by Donkey Kong.
Yes.
But so after this, Khan goes to him again.
Yes.
And Khan goes, hey buddy, remember that conversation we had where you were going to be a good dad?
Yeah.
You want to kind of nut up and do that for us? And Angron goes, I'm going to kill you. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to be the best father I can. Now, I'm saying that in a rather refined tone. It probably came out as, screw you! I'll show you who's a good dad! Ah! That's probably how it came out.
Yeah.
So, I think I peaked the audio.
It does look like it kind of capped out there a little bit.
So, Angron...
R.I.P. to headphone users.
Rip Gage's headphones. So, Angron comes back and he's like, you know what? You're right. I'm going to lead this legion. And I have a few little things that you guys are going to have to do for me to become my legion.
Okay.
One of those things was that he tried to put butcher's nails into their heads. Oh. And they did not survive the procedure.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think definitely not a normal person, but definitely not
Astartes, they couldn't even take it either. So that goes kind of to the wayside. And he gets one of his apothecaries to be like, hey, buddy, keep doing this on the side, but I want you to
figure out how to make it work.
So I want these butcher's nails in. And the other thing that he would do, he saw it as a goal of sorts.
Yeah.
Of his people taking a planet in 31 hours.
Oh.
That is the extent of a day on his homeworld.
Okay.
He wanted them to take a planet in 1 day.
Okay.
That's a near impossible feat.
Right.
Next to impossible. So, what did he do when they didn't comply and weren't able to get it done in 31 hours?
What were they doing?
He would decimate his legion.
Ooh! Well, not that he would decimate it, but the word again.
Yes. He would decimate his legion. And remember how
properly where they beat each other to death?
Yes, I was about to say, remember the confusion I had last time about how they would have the other 9 beat that one to death?
Yes.
Angron's Legion did that. So so basically they would pick out one by random.
Yeah.
And they would just beat the snot out of them until they died.
Okay.
And literally it was brutal.
Yeah.
It was brutal.
Yeah. I don't think it cannot be brutal.
No. Then this is the thing. This accumulated with the Gehenna massacre.
Okay.
And basically what that was is after a time, the Terran-born side of his legion started to get a little bit... So these Terran-born legionaries
they would start their trucks as soon as you start talking.
They would start your trucks as soon as you started talking.
And that's great. What made them so angry.
Yes.
I'm kidding.
No,
that's totally not where
the Terran-born legionaries were starting to get a little bit sick and tired of Angron and the way he did things.
Fair enough.
Like they were like, no, this is kind of screwed up, dude.
Yeah.
So
you might be our dad, but like this is some not really great father behavior. Mm-hmm. You're not being a good example, Dad.
Exactly. So the first time that they tried to bring Gehenna into compliance, they failed. They failed that 31-hour period, and Angron was like, "Great, you know the drill. Pull out right as we're talking."
Yeah.
Angron was like, "You know the drill."
Oh my god,
that's rough.
That is rough.
Yeah.
Sorry to whoever that is.
Yeah. Angron was like, "You know the drill. You have to decimate the Legion."
Yeah.
And this guy named Margot was like, "No, man. Like, this is bad. Like, these are supposed to be your sons. You shouldn't be doing this."
Yeah.
And Angron was like, "Huh, I know this. You just want the honor of being the first one to kill somebody."
Oh boy.
And Margot was like, "No, that's not what I want at all." And Angron flew into a berserker rage.
Yeah.
And he angry Angron. And he's like, and he kills dozens of his sons. He kills dozens of his own gene sons until the Legion's librarians were like, "No, stop, magic power, go." And they remember that thing we talked about earlier about how it took psychers to subdue him?
They actually just had to shut his brain off magically.
They had to magically shut his brain off, yes.
Wow.
So they do that. And right around this time, the apothecary that Angron talked to finds a way stably to give the World Eaters butcher's nails.
Oh, goody. And that's great timing.
And that led to even more division in the Legion.
Yeah.
So the first one to be implanted with these lovely butcher's nails was Khan.
Okay.
And Khan was like, "This is great. I am in pain. Anger." And then 1,000 more of Angron's men followed and got the butcher's nails put in.
Okay.
Yes. So this would lead to the end of the Gehenna massacre. Okay. They went down there and they just
blew right through.
Blew right through everybody. So much so, it was such a bloody massacre that the psychic energy that was blasting through the universe was felt half a sector away.
Like their angriness was so strong.
The deaths of the people on the planet was so strong that they were like, something's not right. And that ended up leading to, first of all, Margot was beheaded by Khan because he was like, "Look, you gotta stop. This is kind of messed up." And Khan was like, "Nah, swing.
Now we're gonna do what Dad says."
Yeah, but before that, Margot was like, "You're leading your Legion to ruin. Everything. You're going to destroy the galaxy with what you're doing." Like, just goes on a big rant about how what Angron's doing is ultimately going to lead to ruin.
Yeah,
and he was right.
Yeah,
but obviously he wasn't a psycho. It was just him being
one guy with common sense.
Exactly. So after this, there was a call for seizure of the World Eaters.
Okay,
they were to be brought back to Terra. Now, do you remember many episodes ago when we talked about the guy that brings people back to Terra?
Ooh, yes. The Emperor's second in command guy, right?
Nope.
No.
It's one of his Primarchs.
Oh, one of the Primarchs.
Yeah. I'll give you a hint. What happens next is called the Night of the Wolf.
So it's going to be Russ then.
It's going to be Russ.
Yeah. The
Emperor calls for Russ to go and get Angron.
Yeah.
And Russ is like, "Oh, I love a challenge." So Russ goes there and he's like, "What's up, brother?
What's up, broski?"
And Angron's like, "Bah, bah, bah, bah."
He's like, was he like at the same level as the minions when they go purple?
Yes, pretty much.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty okay conversation. Russ comes up to Angron and he's like, this can end without bloodshed.
Yeah.
If you just come back to Terra with me.
Yeah.
And Angron's like, no, I'm going to fight you. And Russ is like, what? And then, here's the thing, is legions.
Yeah.
2 legions
Yeah.
do not know who fired the first shot.
It was Greedo.
It was Greedo. It was a Astartes on the Space Wolf side known as Han Solo. No, they don't know who fired the first shot.
Okay.
All they know is that the fighting started and then it stopped.
Okay.
Yeah, because what's indicative of both the World Eaters and the Space Wolves?
They're not going to stop. They have no mercy.
Exactly.
And bloodshed is their goal.
That and Berserker Rage.
Yeah.
The classic Nordic Viking-esque Space Wolves
Yep.
have a Berserker Rage.
Yep.
And, well, the World Eaters just got their Berserker Rage and are taking it out for a test run. So it's basically just a battle of blind rage.
Yeah.
No one knows who won the fight. No one knows who lost the fight. All anyone knows is that Russ got his ass handed to him by Angron and gets sent limping back to Terra.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Tail between his legs?
Tail between his legs, yes. But that's the thing, is the Emperor was kind of impressed. With Angron's chutzpah. He was kind of impressed with Angron being like, hey, back it up.
Yeah.
I ain't doing this.
Yeah.
And neither are you. So that's and then that happens. So the last thing that we're going to talk about here is the fact that Angron would see his brother be promoted to War Master at the Triumph of Ullanor.
Okay.
He was there.
He was there for the grand ceremony
For the grand ceremony stuff, yeah.
Was he there for the actual triumph?
No.
No.
He wasn't. So this is one of those things where it's like, this is the moment. The Triumph of Ullanor can be described as the moment that Horus really picked and chose his traitors. Yes.
Okay.
Really picked his traitors out of the bunch. Because while he did have respect for his other Primarchs and stuff like that, he had a conversation with all of them, remember?
Yeah.
Angron was in a rage when he found out that Horus was going to be the War Master.
Of course.
But it's not because he wanted to be the War Master.
Yeah.
It's because he just didn't think that they needed a War Master. They already had one tyrant telling them what to do.
Yeah.
They didn't need another one.
Yeah, they didn't need a mini-me.
Yeah.
To also be doing just the same thing.
Exactly. So this would be really the point where Horus looks back and goes, Angron would be good to help me bring down my father.
Right.
Because most likely what happens during their conversation was Angron being like, don't be like our father.
Yeah.
Very aggressively towards Horus being like, don't be like our father. Why? He's a tyrant. He's a hypocrite. He's just a whole bunch of sort of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But that's where it ends before the Horus Heresy, because the next time it's really any note
that Angron shows back up again
is in the Heresy, yes.
Right.
But that's the end of the episode.
Okay, cool. That's a lot of anger.
A lot of rage.
A lot of rage.
Yeah.
A little bit more cut and dry than the last episode.
Yes, which is nice. And we don't have to put a disclaimer on this one like we did with the last one.
Yes. But yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Thank you for telling us about Angron.
Thank you. Thanks for listening to me about Angron.
Yeah.
But yeah, as always, if you're on YouTube, pop over to Spotify, take a look. But also, if you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. I realized forever ago that I forgot to keep saying that. Like the episode, please subscribe. If we've gone over something that you thought was wrong, give us a comment. Be nice about it though, please.
Yeah. Or if there's something that you want more information on, we can do our best to try and find more about any particular spot that piques your interest.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know. And yeah. If you're on Spotify, hop over to the YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hop over to the Spotify. If you're on Instagram, again, how are you listening to this?
How are you actually listening to this?
Yes.
But if you are on Instagram, thank you. If you've come to Instagram from the episode, cool. If you've come to the episode from Instagram, also cool.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you again for watching the episode, and we'll see you next week when we're going to be talking about the Imperium's own little emo,
Yes.
Corvus Corax.
Indeed.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, and we will see you then.
See you next time.
Bye.